Very important point.
Like consistently doing a kirtana or staying in the bhakti.
That's okay. How do you do that?
Means we can schedule a time accordingly. Like, means our soul should be on that, like not distracting.
You know the answer, but we are struggling. You all know the answer.
Do devotional service.
By the association of devotees. How do you protect your bhakti? How do you fence your bhakti? Is by staying in the association of devotees.
Being with the right people.
So if you don't stay in the association of devotees, you will develop many multifarious diseases. If you are in the association of smokers, you will develop smoking habit. If you are in the association of drinkers, alcoholics, you will develop it without any effort. Okay? And if you are in the association of women hunters, you will develop those qualities. So, Jaisa Sang, Vaisa. Very easy. So therefore, the most important thing for anybody in this world is to stay in the association of right people. Stay in the right association. So that is the greatest fortune if somebody can get the right association. So Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai, Navamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Bhoga. So even by the moment's association of a pure devotee of Krishna, so one's life can become successful. So that's how we see the story of Nalakuvara and Manigriva, the Damodar pastimes.
Yeah.
So he got the association of whom? Whom did he get? Nalakuvara and Manigriva got the association of which pure devotee? Huh? Narada. Right? A moment's association. They got a moment's association. They were cursed by Narada. But that curse is not a curse actually, it's actually a rule. Right? So therefore we have to understand sometimes, see the Prabhupada was giving the example of a politician. So when the politicians speak, so they speak very sweet words, but their heart is like razor. But when a saintly person speaks, his words are like razor, but his heart is like butter. Understood, no? So politicians, they speak very nicely to cheat you, to get the vote, to get their job done, and just they will throw you. They will use and throw you like a tissue paper. But the heart of a saintly person is to benefit you. Suppose a mother chastises a child. Is it for the benefit of the child or it's for to harm the child? What is there involved? The benefit of the child is in the heart of the mother. Right? So therefore, when the sadhus speak, so their words may be harsh. So what is this? They are speaking about birth, death, old age and disease. So then they talk about the ill effects of the age of Kali-yoga, material life. So why they are talking so much about material life? So why they don't want us to prosper or what? So we have our plans for prosperity, economic development. But the sadhu is saying that, advancement of material life is not the purpose of life, goal of life. హరే కృష్ణ తెలుగు వాళ్ళకి పైన క్లాస్ జరుగుతుంది. ఎవరికైనా ఇంగ్లీష్ అర్థం కాలేదంటే తెలుగు క్లాస్కి వెళ్ళొచ్చు పై. Everybody is comfortable with English? Okay. So getting the point. So the sadhu has the interest of that person at heart. It's not that we are against economic development, but we are saying that is not the goal of life. That is not the purpose of life. Okay. So if you want to protect your devotional service, you have to stay in the association of like-minded people. So who have similar interests and goals in life. Or else, suppose instead of coming to satsang here today, you may go to a friend. So sometimes they may be talking about so investing here, investing there, investing money in the stocks and shares, or investing money in real estate. So they may put the seed of greed in your heart and go away. Right? So what happens by that?
Our mind gets
Desire,
diverted.
desire will come.
Desire will come. Suppose somebody is saying that we have good opportunities abroad. So then, so when usually when Matajis, so they come together, they speak. So they speak like, so their children are settled abroad. So or he is, no, they talk about the prosperity of some family, some relative, some friend. Usually, what happens by that conversation?
One is we get greed,
Yeah.
or one is yeah.
What happens by such conversations?
We get more-
Usually, this is a conversation, right? And when we, especially Matajis, they all meet in the marriages and festivals and occasions. So, what do you generally discuss?
New wishes, new desires. It's cultivates.
So, which model is this chain? Where did you purchase it?
All we discuss it is not only for Mataji's credit doesn't come only for us. All discuss it.
No, no, generally speaking. So, what is our discussions all about? Gold. Well, no, you can bring it up.
First the
What
properties.
schools kids we used to discuss.
Uh-huh.
Like what, how about their school curriculum, everything we used to tell. Now a bit it's like of Krishna, we are discussing Krishna.
No, no. Before that, when you
Before,
usually meet in an occasion, what is the general conversation?
Or some politics or some useless things actually. Really not really helping.
Something related to material life rather than spiritual.
Hmm.
So everything is.
Okay, so when that happens, so who is doing what, right? So what such conversation usually leads to?
Desires more.
Ego, depression.
Ego, greed.
Ego, depression. So then the Matajis will come and pinch the Prabhu. See, your friend is settled abroad, he has got a higher package, he's elevated to that position. Still you are in the same position in the company. When are you going to get a promotion? So, which means usually, so we develop ego, false pride, then envy, right? So, by these discussions, what develops in the heart? Envy and greed, right? So, this is called as prajalpa. Prajalpa means talking anything which is not Krishna consciousness is called as prajalpa. So, first Janasangha, you come in the association of people who are non-devotees. So, then from Janasangha, what happens? Prajalpa develops. From Prajalpa, Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangasya laulyam cha shadvir bhakti vinashyati. So how your bhakti will get destroyed. So it's explained in the nectar of instruction. So first it begins with so atyahara. Atyahara means collecting more than necessary. Or accumulating things which are more than required. This is called as atyahara. So for that what you do? You have to do prayas. Prayas means working more than necessary. So instead of one job, you will take up 2 jobs. Right? So then some other side business. So then the whole material endeavor goes into fulfilling those desires. Right? Atyahara, prayasasya, prajalpa. Prajalpa means talking to people who have mundane desires, mundane thoughts, mundane goals, mundane purposes in life. So this is called as prajalpa. Satyahara prayasasya prajalpo niyamagraha. Niyamagraha means following rules and regulations just for the sake of following it. So many a times we follow rituals, we don't even know what is the purpose behind it. Niyama agraha means one is agraha, agraha, agraha. Agraha means so following rules for the sake of following it, and second one is not completely following any rules and regulations. So Janasanga and Laulyam. So when you do Prajalpa, then from Janasanga you do Prajalpa, from Prajalpa you develop Laulyam. So this is what happens, this is a sequence. So therefore, when we meet and associate with worldly minded people, what happens? You usually develop greed and envy, love. So, and the purpose and the goal of life is lost. So therefore, when you get the seed of bhakti, so what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to protect that seed of bhakti very carefully. So one is, now we are pouring the water by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, hearing Krishna Katha, discussing Krishna conscious literature. So all these things will happen, and you are cultivating the seed of bhakti in the heart. Okay. And you have to protect it also. Protecting it also is very, very important. So how do you protect it? Is by regularly coming to the association of devotees, serving in the association of devotees. So how do you feel when you serve here? When you come to the association of devotees, when you come for a Saturday program, when you come for a Sunday program. So how do you feel?
Very happy.
You will be relaxed.
Then
Fortune. It's a seva.
One is
Ah. So you feel more enlivened, enriched, enlightened, right? All these three things will happen.
right.
What are the three things that happens? You feel enriched, enlivened, enlightened, right? All these three things happen when you come to the association of devotees. So you are nurturing actually the seed of bhakti, right? So Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nityadasa. All of you already have the seed of bhakti in your heart. Okay? So that is being, what happens? That is being awakened by the process of Krishna consciousness. When you chant the holy names of the Lord, the sleeping soul is awakened to the path of self-realization. This is what happens when you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Because everybody is a devotee of the Lord. Everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. Okay, but because of this material covering, this body itself is a material covering. There are three coverings on the soul. One is this gross body, one is the subtle body. So then avidya, future, ego, false ego. Okay. So we already have this material body. This is like a prisoner's dress. You are already the jail. This material world is a jail, and you are already having this prisoner's dress. That is this body. So one is the gross body, which is made up of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Panchabhutas. So then you have the subtle body, which is made up of mind, intelligence, false ego. This is the second covering of the soul. The gross body is visible. The subtle body is not visible. But you can recognize the activities of the mind, intelligence, and false ego. How do you recognize the mind?
Thoughts.
Observing.
By thoughts and desires. Okay. How do you recognize the intelligence?
Decisions.
Decision. Choosing what is right, what is wrong is done by intelligence. So then false ego.
Result of it.
Yeah.
Results of it. The decision we make.
False ego is identification. Identification with the material body, material designations. I am the husband of such and such. I belong to such country. I belong to this nation. So I am the possessor of this house. I am the owner of this house. I am the owner of this property. Right? So they are my children. He is my husband. She is my wife. So all these things are material designations. So do we identify ourselves as spirit souls, or do we identify ourselves as material? What are the designations we are identified with? What do we usually identify with?
Material.
99% of the time, what are we identifying?
Material.
Material designations only, right? Are we identifying that I am spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna?
No.
So when do you identify, when do you get this identity?
You're in full bhakti actually, at that minute you feel like that.
Like when we come to the association of devotees, we slowly, gradually try to identify ourselves as part and parcel of Krishna. That is what is your real identity. Getting the point? How do you recognize your real identity? When you come to the association of, this is where you get that intelligence, right? So and your identity changes. So here you identify yourself as devotee of God, disciple of God, disciple of the spiritual master. Here you identify yourself as part and parcel of God, right? So here you come and look at the deities. So you feel Krishna is so great, I am so small. So all these things, where it happens?
Here only.
Only when you come to the association of devotees. We understand the greatness of the Lord, we understand our insignificant position, we understand the nature and glories of the Lord. So all these things happens when you come to the association of devotees. Right? So what happens by watering the seed, is the seed of bhakti. So is that we'll gradually nourish and develop our Krishna consciousness. So that is what happens when you water the seed. So one is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then coming to the association of devotees, protecting your devotional service, and holding on to Krishna's lotus feet. Because the creeper of bhakti, so can be, it is creeper. Creeper needs support. That support is given by taking shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Right? So which means we strongly get connected. So just like the ship is anchored to the shore. So similarly, so we are anchored. We get anchored to the lotus feet of Krishna. Right? So we develop that faith. So we are doing that vyavasaya atmika buddhi. So how that happens? By regularly hearing and reading the glories of Krishna. Yasyam vaishuyamanaha Krishna parama purushe bhaktir utpadayate pumsan shoka moha bhayavaha. So vyavasayatmika, this is from Bhagavatam. Yasyam vaishuyamanaha. How do you nurture that seed of bhakti? One is by hearing Shruyamanaha. One is chanting. Chanting is also hearing. By the process of hearing, you are nurturing the seed of bhakti in the heart. Okay. So what is chanting? What is chanting? Chanting is actually hearing. Sometimes we chant, but your mind is all over the place. So then we are not hearing. So the most important aspect of chanting is to hear what you are chanting. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, are you actually hearing the holy name? Are you hearing?
Yes. Not most of the time, sometimes it goes somewhere else.
Most of the time it goes somewhere. Only few times we are able to
Chant loudly.
Out of 108, 8 will be hearing, 100 will be going.
No, if you chant loudly, then
So mind is, it's not easy to,
control.
it is not easy to focus the mind on the holy name of Krishna.
Hearing.
So it's not easy. So you think meditation, many people say that meditation is easy. Meditation is not easy. So you have to hear the holy name. How many of you feel it's very, very difficult?
Difficult. It is difficult.
If we don't say it's difficult, we are lying. It's very, very difficult. So because of avyavasayatmika buddhi, because the mind is all over the place, because our mind is completely filled with materialistic desires. Okay. So the materialistic desire for fruitive activities. So all these things are great distractors. So which takes the mind's focus away from Krishna. So therefore, the heart, unless the heart is purified of all these unwanted desires in the heart, so you cannot bring the mind to focus on the holy name. So, but this is the medicine. So there is no other medicine. The only medicine is to chant Krishna's names. So the more you chant, so the more you become purified. So the more you will be able to focus. And we should also make an effort to hear the holy name. If you don't make the effort to hear the holy name, so then you will not get the desired result. Okay. So just like Mother Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna. She was endeavoring. So we are also trying to bind Krishna in the heart, right? So what is chanting? Chanting is actually trying to bind Krishna in the heart. So when we are actually chanting, are we able to bind Krishna? So Krishna is running here and there. Right? So to bring Krishna, to bind Krishna is not very easy. So but Mother Yashoda is making lot of endeavors to bind Krishna. So and finally Krishna agreed. So to get bound by, which means we need to make sufficient endeavor. If we don't make sufficient endeavors, it's not easy. Getting the point? So are we really making that endeavor? When you are chanting the holy names of Krishna, are we really making that endeavor to hear the holy name?
We are trying.
Right? So endeavors are very, very important. So initially to start the process, so this may be difficult. So to endeavor may be difficult. To take this pain to hear Krishna's names may be initially difficult. Yastvad agre vishamiva pariname amrutopamam tatsukam satvikam proktam atmabuddhi prasadam. Krishna in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he is saying that, so Yastvad agre, what is happiness in the mode of goodness? So endeavors in the mode of goodness is troublesome in the beginning because you have to focus the mind, you have to hear the holy name, you have to concentrate, okay? So when you focus on the holy name, when you hear the holy name, so what happens? So all these endeavors are difficult in the beginning, but pariname amrutopama. So when you focusly chant the holy names of the Lord, how many of you experience the joy of Krishna consciousness?
Sometimes it happens
Even
very rarely.
if it is sometimes, it is appreciable because you have made that endeavor to hear the holy name. Getting the point? So it's just like when you, as children, how many of you have made this experiment? You put your lens before the sun rays. And the sunlight converges at one point and it burns the newspaper. How many of you have tried this experiment? How many of you have tried? At least how many of you know that there is an experiment like this where you converge the rays at one focal point, so you see that the paper burns, right? What does it mean? What did you understand by this?
If you focus, you will get.
So which means when you focus on the holy name, so when you focus on the holy name and when you hear the holy name, what happens? The anartha sitting in the heart of a devotee is burnt. Getting the point? All the unwanted things in the heart is burnt when you focus on the holy name and hear the holy name. So therefore, some endeavor is required. This is called tapasya. So therefore, even if one has to acquire knowledge, one has to come to the mode of goodness. So some lifestyle changes when we speak about in ISKCON, many people will misunderstand the ISKCON means so many rules, so many regulations. That's not the case. Say if you want to reach, if you want to go to Majestic from Akshay Nagar, you'll find so many traffic signals on the way, right? So is traffic signals required or not?
Required.
It is required.
Why?
Otherwise, people will not obey the rules.
Say there are no traffic signals. Now you are starting at 7 o'clock here and you will be reaching
No.
Majestic.
Surety.
No, sure.
Will you reach Majestic
Maybe
if there are no
tomorrow
signals here?
Tomorrow morning.
Why?
Nobody follow the guidelines. Obey it.
Then there will be traffic jams only all the way, right? So actually, these are all meant. Why I am giving you this example is, if you want to reach the destination, so take no matter whether it's an educational institution, whether it's a work, whether it's your workplace, can anything function without rules and regulations? So you open an organization, you say, "Yeah, my employees can come anytime, they can go anytime." So what do you? So how do you enter your office? With a smart card, right?
Yes.
So your rules begins from there. So without organization, without running organization based on rules and regulations, can the organization become profitable?
No.
Can you get your salaries?
No.
Can the company run the show? Not possible, right? Whether an educational institution can function and whether the children can get educated. Everything requires a set of rules and regulations to arrive at the desired goal. Okay. So therefore, all these things are meant to help you to reach the desired goal. So why these rules are? Why I'm just giving you this brief? Because these rules and regulations will bring you to the mode. Some subtle lifestyle changes will bring you to the mode of goodness. So especially your mode of goodness begins with sleeping on time, waking on time. Okay. This one thing, at least one rule you can follow. Sleep on time, wake up on time. So when you follow this rule, most of your problems will get solved. If you sleep on time. Right? So for that we have to keep the mind peaceful. And keeping the mind peaceful is the most difficult thing. Right? That's the most difficult thing for most of us. So that's the reason Krishna has given us this beautiful process of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It puts you above the mode of goodness. Not only goodness, puts you above the mode of goodness. It's called Shuddha Sattva platform. So therefore, why we are discussing all these points is to develop that cultivation. So therefore, cultivation is a difficult process, but we have to cultivate. Why?
To restart.
To get anything fruitful in life, right?
Yes.
You want something worth it? When you cultivate, what you get? You get something fruitful, right? So therefore, what we cultivate is very, very important. So now, here in this class, we are discussing about cultivating Krishna consciousness by rooting the seed of devotional service. What is the root of bhakti? What are we rooting? How are we nourishing the seed? By chanting Hare Krishna. Then, by the process of hearing, right? Not only chanting with focus and attention. So I think after this class you'll throw some insights into your chanting now, right?
Yes.
How you are supposed to chant,
Yes.
right? Not only chanting, but how you chant. So then, certain lifestyle habits, especially sleeping early, waking up early. Okay, these few things you should follow. Okay. So eating sattvic food as far as possible. Okay. So these are all different and staying in the association of. So how do you protect your bhakti?
By association.
With Sangha.
By staying in the association of devotees, right? Suppose if you have a friend who is addicted to cricket and you also have some weakness for cricket, then what happens?
Go and watch the match for 3 hours.
Yeah? So then you will not come to satsang here, right? So then your vyavasaya will not happen. So your vyavasayatmika buddhi will not happen. Your cultivation will not take place. So then mind will get diverged. It will become multi-branched. So then you start looking for pleasure all over the place with various materialistic endeavors, right?
Right.
So try to satisfy the senses in different ways. Okay. But when you bring the mind to one focal point, so mind can be one thing you have to always remember about mind. So mind can be satisfied only by giving Krishna. There is no other way you can satisfy the mind. Hare Krishna, getting the point?
Yes.
So one thing you should remember about mind is, mind can be satisfied only by giving Krishna and nothing else. So this is the most important thing one should know. No matter whatever you give the mind will never be satisfied. So the more you give it, money, wealth, pleasures of this life, the more you give it, the more the mind will hanker for it. And the more you become dissatisfied. The more you try to give the mind materialistic pleasures, the more the mind will become dissatisfied. So therefore, the best way to keep the mind satisfied is by giving Krishna consciousness. Mana prasadata somyatvam atmanam parinigraha bhava samshuddhi riti etat manasam tapamuchyate. So what is the austerity of the mind is given in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So the austerity of the mind is mana prasadata somyatvam atmanam parinigraha bhava samshuddhi riti etat manasam tapamuchyate. So mind should not be given thoughts of sense gratification. The more you give the mind the thoughts of sense gratification, the more the mind will become dissatisfied. So then what the mind should be given? So the best austerity of the mind is to read Vedic literature and satisfying stories from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam. So the more you do this, the more the mind will become peaceful and satisfied. You can try this. Right? So, already Kali Yuga is an age of distraction and so much trouble. Right? So, the mind is already disturbed. Prayena alpayusha sabhya kalavasmi nigajana manda sumanda mathe manda bhagyas upatruta. Already we are disturbed. Manda bhagyas upatruta. We are already unfortunate. And one more problem with the age of Kali is, so, upatrutaha. Kalavasmi manda sumanda matayu manda bhagyas upatrutaha. Upatrutaha means always disturbed. And already we have so much disturbance with the cell phones at hand. Always disturbed. Then how are we going to solve this problem? See, the first two-step method for anybody, no matter however he is disturbed, is first to chant Krishna's names. Second one, come to the association of devotees. And all other things will follow step by step. Okay? What should we do?
Chanting Hare Krishna.
And
Second, coming to the association.
this two-step solution will solve most of your problems. The problems of distraction, the problems of losing focus. So the problems of having purpose and goal in life. So all these things will be taken care just by this two-step solution. First start doing this and all other things will follow step by step. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So I want to take questions now.
How do we cultivate it? How do we cultivate this process?
So first step is come to the association of devotees and serve in the association of devotees. Okay, and also we need to see sometimes when you plant a seed, it grows into a plant. Along with the plant, there are so many other weeds which also grow along with the plant also, actual plant. So therefore, you need to root out those unwanted weeds also. You need to identify those weeds and remove the weeds also. Or else that will hamper the growth of the
Plant.
real plant. So sometimes when coming to the association of devotees, so we may develop a desire for name, fame, greed, puja, labha, pratishtha, name, fame, distinction. So in the association of devotees. So all these things are all unwanted anarthas, which look like, it's almost like it is like a bhakti creeper. But it is not bhakti. The real bhakti actually develops when you water the seed, when you actually chant the holy names of Krishna with sincerity. So only then it will develop into a proper plant. Unless you are actually nourishing all the other weeds. So when we come to the association of devotees, we should not look for name, fame, recognition, distinction. So we have to be very focused as to why we are coming here. Just be focused on becoming a nice devotee, becoming a sincere devotee of Krishna. So take up whatever service so Krishna has given you. Sincerely keep doing it, and whatever good has to be brought out, Krishna will eventually bring it out through the association of devotees. Okay. So we need not worry too much about the unwanted weeds. So as devotees, when we come here, the center has only one purpose: to give you shelter so that you can cultivate your real Krishna consciousness. And real Krishna consciousness can be cultivated only when you hear the holy names of Krishna sincerely, read scriptures, and keep your intelligence razor sharp so that you can distinguish between what is right, what is wrong. Intelligence always needs to be sharpened. How do you sharpen the intelligence? By regularly reading scriptures. If you don't read the scriptures regularly, then you cannot distinguish between what is right, what is wrong. Even for us also. Even after staying in Krishna consciousness for many years, if I don't read regularly, even I cannot do it. So therefore, reading Prabhupada's books regularly is the medicine. It will sharpen your intelligence. Take the right decisions, because every day is a challenge for you to arrive at the right conclusion and make the right choices and go ahead. Right? So therefore, we have to sharpen our intelligence by reading Prabhupada's books regularly. Or else it's very easy, we falter. We don't take devotional service seriously. And we become blind followers. We become sentimentalists. So religion without philosophy is sentimental. And philosophy without religion is mental speculation. We should neither become mental speculators, nor we should become sentimentalists. We should become people with right faith. Shraddha Shabda Kahe Shudra Nischay Krishna Bhakti Kahe Sarva Karma Krita Paye. So we should develop such a strong faith and determination to practice Krishna consciousness. So by reading scriptures. Okay? Don't develop blind faith. Develop proper faith by reading scriptures. This is why we are given this human form of life. This is why in the human form of life we are endowed with so much intelligence, reasonableness, thoughtfulness, which are not available in the animals, right? And we cannot make the animals come and sit and hear class. Can we do that? So can we ask them to sharpen the intelligence by reading scriptures? So can we expect any reasonable behavior from animals? No. But we can do all that. Krishna has given all this so that we can cultivate vyavasayatmika buddhi. We can cultivate and enhance our consciousness. So the consciousness should keep upgrading, and we should not allow the consciousness to degrade. So if you don't upgrade in human form of life, you will naturally degrade. Getting the point? If you don't do Krishna consciousness, you will naturally degrade. That is the law of material nature. If a person does not cultivate Krishna consciousness, what happens? Degradation is a natural process. Because that is the law of material nature. So when you are given this human form of life, you should cultivate. That is tapasya. So you have to cultivate by chanting Hare Krishna, by upgrading, and by chanting Hare Krishna and coming. Don't think it's a very, very difficult process. Just come here, cultivate your Krishna consciousness and grow. And you'll know it for your own self. You can distinguish between what is gold and what is iron. You can distinguish between what is life before Krishna consciousness, what is Krishna consciousness. You will understand life in Krishna consciousness is gold, life without Krishna consciousness is iron. This much you will definitely know. Getting the point? So therefore, we have to cultivate. It's a struggle. So life is a struggle, but struggle for Krishna. Or else you have to anyway struggle. So struggling for what? Something meaningless in life. Some meaningless, useless sense gratification, which is available for animals also. So therefore we have to cultivate. So the process of Krishna consciousness. So Krishna has given us this knowledge, intelligence. So you have to upgrade your consciousness. So not degrade. So develop use our human form of life and intelligence for some economic development. So of course you can make yourself better. So you can make your situation better. So we are not denying the fact that you have to work to maintain yourself. But don't make that the goal of your life. And don't endeavor for things which are not necessary. Because even according to your karma, you will get what you are destined to get. So you can enhance your karma to a better level, but not more than what you are deserve to get, according to the karma, law of karma.
Even if you get it, it will go somewhere.
That's for sure. So, but when you come to Krishna consciousness, Krishna will give you the right intelligence and it will also protect what you have or what you deserve to get. I'm not just saying like that. Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana pariyupasate tesa nitya viktanam yogakshemam vahami. So when you actually serve Krishna, Krishna will protect what you have and he will give you what you lack. Getting the point? So therefore, intelligence is to surrender to Krishna. Ananyas chintayanto mam. And Krishna is taking care of your yogakshema. Why do you worry? You are putting your life in the safe hands. You are putting your life in the safe hands of Krishna. Then what is there for you to worry? Only thing, do this. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Cultivate this wonderful bhakti life of Krishna consciousness. Getting the point? This is intelligence. This is putting things in the right perspective. using this human form of life for what it is meant for. So don't again get entangled into the cycle of karma. So birth after birth, so enjoying pious activities, suffering for our impious activities. So go above all this. Cultivate Krishna consciousness and rise above all this. Going up, sometimes coming down. So don't get into the cycle of up and downs. Sometimes by doing pious activities, go to higher planets, enjoy life in the higher planets, then again come down. Because by cultivating pious activities, so you'll develop good karma, and by good karma you can be promoted to heavenly planets, upper planetary system. But that will not give you liberation from this material world. But after exhausting your pious activities, you have to come again down here and again cultivate the karmic cycle. It's called karma bhumi. You have to cultivate the karmic cycle. Sometimes going up, sometimes coming down. It's a very risky business because you can degrade to animal form of life also if you misuse whatever is given to you. So therefore, stop this. So intelligence is to stop this, surrender to Krishna, and make the right choices. Okay? So lead a systematic life, wake up early in the morning, chant your rounds, read Srila Prabhupada's books. So put your life on the right focus and perspective and gradually, systematically grow. Center is meant for that. So we have Shrikant Prabhu, Manas Prabhu, so they all come regularly. Then Nandagopa Prabhu, Sri Lakshmi Mataji, then I don't know, Nagesh Prabhu's family. So Nagesh Prabhu's family, they are the first one to open the center. So like you cannot take advantage. See, this is what I meant by saying association of devotees. So make the best use of time. So day in, day out, you are cultivating, and for the final fruit of going back to Godhead. Okay. This is the goal. So Krishna has given the best situation possible. Make the best use of time. So wake up early, come to the center, do your prescribed number of rounds. So then 7 o'clock the center gets closed here. Everybody goes to their duty, students go to their colleges. So, but this center is given opportunity to set things in order. So use it. Make the best use of a bad bargain. Already taking human form of life is a bad bargain. So, but we have to make the best use of the bad bargain. We have to enhance our consciousness. Okay, go higher in your consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anything else?
Prabhu, what is the books to start reading of Srila Prabhupada? Is there any
So you can start On the Way to Krishna. On the Way to Krishna, perfect questions, perfect answers.
Do we
Science
have
of
the books available?
all those books are Science of Self-Realization.
Beyond the birth and death.
Beyond Birth and Death. So these are all basic books to start with. See, why I am asking you to also upgrade your levels of chanting is because human form of life is very rare. So make the best use of the situation. Already we are late. So Kaumaram Acharate Pragna. When are you supposed to cultivate Krishna consciousness? Manas Prabhu, when are we supposed to start? In human form of life?
You said from the age of we have started 5 years.
5 years. From the age of 5.
5 years.
How old are we now? So you cannot, I'll not ask your age. I'll not embarrass you. So, but you should all calculate. Okay? So how much time is given to us, how much time is left with us. Okay? But don't feel sorry, but so we should be also careful about time. Time is the most important factor in our life. If we don't utilize now, then we are failing miserable. So that's the reason. Increase your commitment. So Prabhupada is not asking you to go beyond 60. So quickly reach that goal. Okay. So make adjustments in such a way you are giving maximum time to Krishna and cultivating also. Okay? Hare Krishna. Any other doubts? So feel free to ask. This is a small group.
How long will it take to go into the Krishna consciousness?
Prabhupada says 1 moment. So, how long will it take to perfect? Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. So, we have to accept Krishna as the purpose and goal of life. So, start practicing. And you are already on the path of perfection.
Prabhuji, what is the tip when chanting, right? To focus on listening. So you could able to listen only a few times. How we can improve that?
So, by constantly practice, because as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Chanchalangi mana Krishna pramadi balvadudam tasmat nigraham mane vairiva sadushkaram. So the mind is very, very turbulent. So very difficult to control the mind. So one is, as I said, lifestyle changes. Minimize your mobile time, screen time. Okay. So avoid mobiles watching, especially shorts, reels, so which is consuming most of your time. So avoid Maya's time, increase Krishna's time. This is the only secret. The more you chant, the more you will become focused. Because in the age of distraction, the only solution is to chant Krishna's names. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam. Krishna says, Namaiva. Khalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatir. There is no other way, no other way, no other. So therefore, the only solution is to chant Krishna's names. Okay? So spend time for chanting Krishna's names. Minimize your Maya's time. Increase Krishna's time. So how to avoid minimize Maya's time is to increase Krishna's time, which means you have to increase your number of rounds and minimize Maya's time. It's easy. Don't think it's difficult. You can chant more than 16 rounds, I can tell you. You can chant 32 rounds every day, not 16, I'm telling you. But minimize Maya's time. Increase Krishna's time. This is the one thing. I'm practicing it. Minimize Maya's time.
Before sleeping, you can do the after the dinner.
So before sleeping, if you chant, there won't be much quality in our chanting. Because the mind's wave pattern is at the minimal during the Brahma Muhurta time, between 4:30 and
Morning we are doing it. After the dinner, sometimes
24 hours
we
a
have
day?
the time actually. That's it.
24 hours a day we can chant, no problem. So, but the best time for practicing spiritual life is the Brahma Muhurta time. That time we should completely dedicate it to spiritual activities, like especially chanting. The core activity of spiritual life is chanting Krishna's names. So therefore you have to focus on the core activity at the early hours of the day. See, somebody may be having night shifts and other problems. So over a period of time, you try to get out of this night shifts and other problems, so that you can chant in the Brahma Muhurta. So because to realize Brahman in the sense, to realize that you are the spirit soul part and parcel of Krishna. So the best time is to chant in the Brahma Muhurta. Okay. So this is called the golden hours of the day. What are the golden hours? Morning 4 to 8. So most of your spiritual activities, your cultivation for Krishna consciousness should happen in this time. This is called as the golden hours of the day. So don't waste the golden hours of the day. Getting the point?
Prabhuji, is there any best practices when we are chanting? You should sit always and chant or chair?
So one thing I will tell you, so best way to chant is to sit and chant. So that is chanting in the mode of goodness. Walking and chanting is rajas. Okay? So sitting and sleeping is tamas. So sometimes, to come to the mode of goodness it does not happen immediately. So what you have to do, suppose if you are feeling sleepy, you can walk. So, but the best practice is to sit and chant. That's the best practice.
Prabhuji, we can chant with the Prabhupada audience.
No, the chanting means you should hear your own.
While doing cooking and all.
Yeah, that you can. That
That will also count to the Prabhupada.
Yeah, that. But your count means counting on the beats. That is your committed chanting. 16 rounds on beats, unlimited rounds off beats. But these committed rounds should be on beats. Say I am chanting 8 rounds. That 8 rounds should be on beats.
That will count.
So, and avoid clickers as far as possible. Except medical emergency, something like that. Always chant on beats. So that is the best practice of chanting.
Why, Prabhu?
Prabhu, this counted rounds, right? 16 rounds, and per round it's a 108. So what is the significance of that 108 versus 16 round?
So that's the number given by the acharyas.
Okay.
So therefore, there are 100. Why there is a particular count of 108 is because it's a sign of auspiciousness. So there are 108 Upanishads.
Yeah.
So
108 is little connectable, but 16 is like hard to connect.
actually it's not 16. The system given by Prabhupada's Guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was 64 rounds.
64 by 4th of
So 64 rounds in the sense, it takes 8 hours for you to chant. So then how many people can take up this? So which means chanting 1 lakh names of Krishna every day. So it's called Lakpati. So if he chants 1 lakh names of Krishna every day. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not take prasadam in the house of devotees who would not chant 64 rounds. But Srila Prabhupada is very, very kind and merciful on the fallen souls of the age of Kali Yuga, that he has given us only 16 rounds to chant. 16 rounds of Hare Krishna.
So senior devotees do only 16 or they do more than 16?
So actually we have to chant more than 16, but minimum. So Prabhupada said minimum 16 rounds. So which means that does not bar you from chanting more. So he said minimum 16 rounds and you can chant any number of rounds more. Okay, but 16, minimum 16. We should come to that standard. It takes time. Don't worry. So we all started. I took 2 years. So come to stand of chanting 8. So because we did not have much association, we did not have an organized, we had very small association of devotees. So 25 years back, this was the situation. Gradually now the centers have developed, Bangalore has developed, now we have many centers and we have many devotees to guide also. Senior devotees are there. who have spent time in Krishna consciousness. So, but now we are getting an opportunity, we have to take the best use, make the best use of the situation. Getting the point? So it will take time. So don't be disheartened, but gradually practice. The more you come to the association of devotees, the more it becomes easy. When you want to practice it individually, it becomes difficult. But when you come to the association, it becomes very easy. Okay. So association has power. Okay. So therefore, come and practice everything in the association of devotees. Reading together, chanting together. So serving together, all these things are easy. In Kali Yuga, an individual is weak, but the association is strong. That's the reason people in Kali Yuga, they have associations. right? So association of Bengalis, association of Oriya people, you have so many associations. Association of Telugu speaking people. So in Kali Yuga, individuals are weak, associations are strong. So therefore, we should take advantage of the age of Kali. So we should also come in the association and practice in association. Mataji, any doubts? Hare Krishna. Any doubts from Mataji's side? It's okay. Okay, so what lessons you took from today? We can take that and close it. Application from today's class.
So first thing is like reading books. Basically, that is to grow our intelligence. I'll speak loudly. So one takeaway is like reading books basically.
Right side.
Reading books basically, which will grow our intelligence. So why the intelligence is required as for us to like, with intelligence only we can take the decision, which is right, which is wrong. So in other way, like if you don't read the books, then you may be do wrong. You may not go in the right direction.
So
Therefore,
we
you
may
like
end up making wrong choices.
wrong choices, or you may lead someone in wrong way
Yeah.
too. So in order to avoid all those things, we have to read the book so that we will be intelligent. So that is the one takeaway.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Maharaj Prabhu.
What I understand.
Okay.
As per my understanding, there are for bhakti, there are certain steps: A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Oh.
A for association, B for books,
Hmm.
C for chanting, D for deity person, E for engagement, F for food, and G for if you follow all this, you will go to back to God.
Thank you. Haribol. Yes, next. So, other devotees, you can speak out today.
Developing the cultivation of being a Krishna consciousness
How do we do that?
by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and association with the people.
Association with devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, would like to say something?
Basically, I understood three components. Every day we need to chant the Krishna, so that we be very close to Krishna. The second one is association with the devotees. The third one would be the more we need to read more books, so which is basically we start. I mean, from scratch to develop into.
Yeah, we can start with small books and also hear regularly. So
Yes.
devotees should also hear regularly. So there are so many lectures of devotees. So our ISKCON gurus, brahmacharis, sannyasis, they're all giving classes, you can hear from them. But you should be careful when hearing also. So you hear from only from ISKCON devotees.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mataji's, any takeaway points today? Pushpa Mataji?
If you want more Krishna's consciousness, you have to read scriptures and devotional.
Okay. Narasimha Reddy Prabhu?
More focus
Hmm.
and on chanting Krishna, we have to be focused and remove worldly things and come to association so that the focus will be more. If you are sitting at home, if you do, sometimes you feel I can do half an hour, but that will not allow. Within 15 minutes you may get a car or you may go for, your mind will be diverted. So here, for example, if you come here, all those things will be removed.
So all the distractions are removed. So you can remain focused. Mataji?
సాంగత్యం ఎలాంటి వాళ్ళతో సాంగత్యం చేస్తే అలాంటి హ్యాబిట్స్ సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు డివోషనల్గా ఇప్పుడు రావాలంటే మంచి సాంగత్యం డివోషనల్
Okay. Association of devotees. So take away. Mataji?
One takeaway is like mind can be only satisfied or pleased by the Krishna. And how
Mind can be only satisfied by Krishna.
Yes. And to cultivate that, we have to build the practices, some habit changes, and as everyone's put together, like chanting, association, reading the books, I think that we have to slowly cultivate.
So you have, by reading books, whom do you associate with?
With the Krishna consciousness.
Who said Prabhupada? By reading books, you are associating with? Who is Prabhupada?
Guru, master, spiritual master, great disciple of Krishna.
He is a pure devotee of Krishna. Which means when you are reading books, whom are you associating with?
Krishna.
We are associating with a pure devotee of Krishna. Getting the point?
Yes.
Therefore, you should read whose association you should take. If you want to become a pure devotee, then you should read Prabhupada's books. Right? Getting the point? Hare Krishna. Anything else? Any other takeaways for today?
I think Prabhu, today's class was one of the best classes I heard actually. So even though there are like 4 lines of sloka, there is entire message how to live a life, how to live a spiritual life, how to live a happy life. Everything is in that. Okay? From seeding, watering, protecting. That is the life. That will decide how we want to live the life.
Wait.
Hare Krishna. So what I was saying is that today's class is the best class. Anyone really understands it, the 4 lines of sloka will tell you how you need to live the life. Okay, one is like seeding, watering and protecting. That's it. This is a message I think. Wonderful if every day at least we can remember in a minute, that can make a big change in the life. Hare Krishna.
Mahan, any doubts? Can I ask? No problem.
Yes, Prabhuji. So I really understood this class really well. So I had few doubts, but first class made me help with the answers.
Any doubt? Anyone you can ask.
He got his answers from this class. He had many doubts. You can still ask. I want to ask.
I got answer from this class.
Okay, anything you want to ask in person, I am available. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, how many of you want to increase your commitment of number of rounds? Okay, you think it's worth it?
Yes. I think one best example is Prabhu, why you are saying to increase. I didn't understand that. But what I felt is right after just... so we went to the Vrindavan Yatra, right? So even though we were traveling for 36 hours in the train, so when we started chanting, because our goal was to chant more and more, so our mind suddenly stopped thinking other things, okay? And I have not seen anyone talking other than chanting, other than talking about Krishna consciousness. Just imagine what the chanting can do. So entire 5 days, 6 days, even we are talking with Prabhu today, he was saying the same thing. I heard in most of the trips we talk a lot of other things, but in this trip we didn't even discuss other than Krishna consciousness even in a minute actually. And all the 8 or 9 days how we passed it, you can imagine it. So I think this is the one very good reason why Prabhu is saying again and again to do the chanting more and more.
See, you will save time, you will save your life. Okay. See, mind is such a big distractor that it can take you away from Krishna. Okay. Very, very difficult. But you have to keep the mind satisfied by giving Krishna. Okay. So you can avoid lot of distractions. See, one thing that will happen to you when you chant Krishna's names is most of your distractions will go away. Okay? You will remain focused, not only spiritually, even in your material things, you will be very focused. Getting the point? The more you chant, the more you'll be happy. It is not mechanical. You'll be naturally happy. So how many of you want to be naturally happy? So then chant. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So this is the secret.
Nowadays we are not chanting here from one or two from the center, especially on Saturday, Sunday.
No, this is telling for everyday practice. So Prabhu, ఎవరు కల్టివేట్ చేస్తారు మీరు? సుభాష్ So you should make him.
Sure.
You can cultivate him, give him beads. You should teach him how to sit and chant. Ask him to come to center every day morning. Prabhu pair Surendra. Okay. So each devotee takes responsibility of one more devotee and you should help him cultivate. Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow morning we'll all meet for our Sunday program. Okay. So try to bring more people to the fold of Krishna consciousness. So Krishna will be very pleased with your efforts. Rachataspan manisheshu kaschit me prikritama. There is no devotee more dear to me, nor will there be one who brings another person to the path of Krishna consciousness. Okay. So we have to bring more people to the fold of Krishna consciousness. And we are all endowed with human form of life. If we give them this priceless gem of Krishna consciousness, their life will be saved and their life will become valuable. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you all very much. So let's have prasadam now. Aarti.